super hard to think of like just the 2010s.
I'm like wondering what personnel group I'm going with here.
And I'm gonna piss somebody off for sure.
No doubt. I feel like you should choose my
I was gonna say, like, there's positions that I feel like I would rather have you choose.
Yes.
Cheating, God, dude, this is hard as shit.
I'm gonna start. This is my team I put together. I'm gonna preface this by I'm going in 12 personnel here. All right. So we're gonna have one back, two tight ends, two wide receivers. I'm also gonna tell you, my team is big. I'm a big believer in like big players. So quarterback, this is a hard one. Are you gonna take Patrick Mahomes? I still think you got to go with Tom Brady. Tom Brady from 2010 on.
Yeah. I mean, he's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT. So Tom Brady is on there. No shade to Patrick, but I'm taking Tom. Running back, I'm going with Adrian Peterson. Early on, man, he was an absolute problem.
Yep.
Early 2010s, just the level of consistency that he had for a long time. My two wide receivers, I'm going Megatron, Calvin Johnson on one side,
Absolutely.
Julio Jones on the other. I mean,
Nightmare.
I feel like I would like throwing to this. But we're going to be in 12, so I got two tight ends too. You're going to line up with Gronk on one side and Travis Kelce on the other. And I like Kelce because he can kind of play slot receiver for you too.
Yep.
So he's kind of a versatile guy. Offensive line was the hardest spot for me. Yep. And I feel like, honestly, you would know the offensive line better. But I went center, Jason Kelce. I mean, unbelievable.
Of course.
Very consistent. One of the most underrated players, I think, in our time as players was Marshall Yanda. I mean,
absolutely,
just an absolute stud for Baltimore.
No
consistent as it gets. He played right guard for me. Left guard, I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
I feel like I could go a lot of different.
There's a bunch of different places to go. I've played with and against Brandon Brooks for a long time. I think he's a great player. There's so many good guards, and they give you headaches. And especially when you have Jason Kelce in the center, like leading that line, you're in some trouble there.
Yeah, he's going to get the protections right. Left tackle, I'm going Joe Thomas.
Badger, good man.
Yeah, a little Wisconsin guy for you. And then right tackle, I'm actually taking a left tackle and moving him over to right. This guy's one of the most athletic offensive linemen I've ever seen, Trent Williams. So I feel like it's a pretty good roster.
I mean, that's
going to be a problem.
That's going to be a tough team to beat. I can tell you that. This is hard. First of all, I'm going to start with my D tackles. I've got Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Both those guys gave me nightmares because I always thought edge rushers were one thing. We could help, we could chip, we could do some things, we could put a tight end next to you. It's the interior guys when you're rushing the passer. Plus, both those guys were really good against the run.
Yes, and I need some good pocket push also. Those two guys are just incredible. My linebackers, I have Patrick Willis. I was sneaking a little bit. I know it's 2010s, but I think he was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, he had enough. He stretched into it. His career was short, but it was dominant during the time that he played.
I got Luke Kuechly, obviously BC guy, one of the best, and I got Fred Warner. There's a bunch of guys in that spot that you got Fred Warner, you got Bobby Wagner. That spot was tough. For corners, I've got Revis Island, and I've got Stephon Gilmore on the other corner.
Former teammate of mine in Indy. Steph's awesome.
Safeties were tough. I don't know safeties well enough. I know Ed Reed was a little bit early in those days, but he was more 2000s as opposed to 2010s.
I think you might be able to catch like Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu technically playing right at the end.
You could put
Ed Reed and Troy, that'd be great. It'd be tough.
And then rushing off the edge, I've got myself and TJ.
So it's one household for
covering
the edge rushers.
We've got Aaron Donald and Stu in the middle, which we would both be extremely happy.
Yeah, we don't got a protection plan for it. As good as this offensive line is, we're going to have a tough protection plan for that.
So the 12 personnel is a very interesting call because that can easily disguise itself as 11 personnel, like you said, with Travis Kelce being able to split out.
Yeah,
you have multiplicity to do a bunch of different things there. So
I always like getting in 12 just because of what you mentioned, the versatility. You're kind of in what you would be in a base defense going against it. There's no real nickel that's in there. So I feel like the matchup for us really is those tight ends on the backers in the pass game. I think in the run game, it's a push.
Yes. So here I'm putting Fred Warner on Travis Kelce, and because we're going to run man-to-man. I mean, I need Revis to be Revis. I need Gilmore to be Gilmore. And we're going to run man-to-man and let the big dogs up front eat. We just got to get home.
As good as those corners are, covering Julio, covering Megatron, one-on-one is going to be tough.
Covering Megatron 3-on-1.
Yeah. It's tough. Nobody had success doing that.